In a world where chaos reigns and distractions pull us in every direction, staying calm is no small feat. But what if I told you there's a way to find peace, even in the eye of life's storms? A way to anchor yourself unshaken no matter what challenges come your way. The Stoics mastered this art centuries ago, and their wisdom remains as powerful today as it was in ancient Rome. Today we dive deep into the timeless strategies of Stoicism, not as a history lesson, but as a blueprint for modern resilience. These are not just philosophical musings, they are practical, actionable lessons that can transform your daily life. Whether it's the pressure of work, the unpredictability of relationships, or the weight of personal struggles, Stoicism offers a path to inner calm. In this video, we'll explore 10 powerful Stoic lessons. Each one is designed to fortify your mind, sharpen your perspective, and keep you calm under pressure. So, if you're ready to take control of your inner world and become unshakable in the face of adversity, let's begin. Lesson 1. Focus on what you can control. Life is full of uncertainties, unexpected challenges, and external forces beyond our grasp. But here's the truth: these forces, no matter how overwhelming, do not determine your peace of mind. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from understanding one fundamental principle: your power lies not in controlling the world, but in mastering your response to it. This idea is liberating. Picture a ship in a storm. The captain cannot calm the waves or stop the rain, but they can steer the ship, adjust the sails, and stay focused on their course. You are that captain navigating the tumultuous sea of life. Your thoughts, actions, and decisions are your sails and rudder. Master those and no storm can sink you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, some things are up to us and some things are not. This is the essence of calm. Wasting energy on things outside your control, whether it's the behavior of others, the past, or the future, only fuels anxiety and frustration. But when you direct your focus inward to the realm of your own choices, you unlock a source of peace that no external force can shake. Let's apply this to real life. Imagine you're at work and a colleague takes credit for something you did. Anger wells up. Your instinct might be to lash out or dwell on the injustice, but pause. Can you control their actions? No. Can you control how you respond? Yes. Instead of letting anger consume you, choose a calm, strategic approach. Address the situation with composure, or let your consistent efforts speak louder over time. By focusing on what's within your control, your professionalism, your integrity, you protect your peace and maintain your dignity. Now consider your personal life. You might face rejection, loss, or criticism. These moments can feel crushing if you focus solely on what you cannot change. But the Stoic perspective reminds you that these events do not define you. What matters is how you interpret and respond to them. You can choose to learn from rejection, find strength in loss, and use criticism as a tool for growth. This practice isn't about indifference. It's about clarity and empowerment. The Stoics weren't cold or unfeeling. They were deeply engaged with life, but they understood that freedom comes from focusing on what's truly within their sphere of influence. In every situation, ask yourself 2 questions. What can I control? What is beyond my control? Then, let go of the latter with confidence. This mental discipline won't make life's challenges disappear, but it will change your relationship with them. You'll move through the world with a calm, steady presence, unshaken by what lies beyond your reach. Remember this: the more you focus on your own actions and mindset, the less power the external world has over you. And in that space between what happens and how you choose to respond lies your freedom. Lesson 2. Embrace the present moment. The past is a shadow, the future a mirage. Yet so many of us spend our lives chasing what's gone or worrying about what's to come, all while the present moment slips through our fingers. The Stoics understood this all too well and emphasized a truth that's both simple and profound. Calm and clarity can only be found in the here and now. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." This wasn't just poetic wisdom. It was a battle-tested strategy for maintaining focus and composure. The present moment is the only reality we truly possess. The past is beyond our reach, unchangeable. The future is uncertain, beyond our control. But this moment, this breath, this action is fully within your grasp. Think about it. How often do you replay past mistakes in your mind, wishing you had acted differently? Or perhaps you project into the future, imagining worst-case scenarios, fretting over things that might never happen. In doing so, you sacrifice your peace of mind for illusions. The Stoics taught that this mental wandering is the root of much suffering. When you anchor yourself in the present, you strip away the weight of regret and the burden of anxiety. You gain clarity. Imagine a surgeon performing a delicate operation. They cannot afford to dwell on a past error or fear the outcome. Their entire focus is on the task at hand, each precise movement guided by the present moment. This level of focus, this immersion in now, is what allows calm and mastery to emerge. But embracing the present isn't just for life's critical moments. It applies to the mundane as well. When you eat, truly taste the food. When you listen to someone, give them your full attention. When you work, focus entirely on the task before you. These small acts of presence accumulate, creating a life rooted in calm awareness. How do you cultivate this mindset? The first step is to catch yourself when your thoughts drift to the past or future. Gently pull them back to the now. Practice mindfulness, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply observing your surroundings without judgment. These practices train your mind to remain present, even in the midst of chaos. Remember, the present moment is your arena. It's where life happens. It's where your power resides. As you master the art of living in the now, you'll find that many of life's anxieties dissolve. You'll approach challenges with a steady hand, savor joys more deeply, and move through life with a calm that even the fiercest storms cannot disrupt. Lesson 3. View challenges as opportunities. Adversity, it's a word that makes most people shudder. Yet for the Stoics, adversity wasn't something to be feared or avoided. It was the crucible in which character is forged, a necessary companion on the journey to inner peace and strength. They believed that every challenge, no matter how daunting, carries within it the seed of opportunity. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most powerful leaders, faced constant trials, from political betrayals to the loss of loved ones and even a deadly plague. Yet in his meditations he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This isn't just a motivational quote. It's a mindset that can transform the way you approach life's difficulties. When you encounter obstacles, it's easy to fall into a spiral of frustration and self-pity. But the Stoics sees things differently. They understand that every challenge is an opportunity to practice virtue. Are you faced with betrayal? Here's a chance to practice forgiveness. Are you struggling with failure? Now is the time to cultivate resilience. Each trial is a test, refining your character and preparing you for greater challenges ahead. Think of it like physical training. A muscle only grows stronger when it's pushed to its limits, when it faces resistance. The same is true for your mind and spirit. Every obstacle you encounter is resistance that, when met with the right mindset, helps you grow. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Think of a time when you faced a difficult situation. Perhaps it was a failed project, a broken relationship, or a personal setback. Now consider this: how did that experience shape you? What lessons did it teach you? Chances are you emerge from it stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The Stoics believed that by viewing challenges as opportunities, you reclaim your power. Instead of being a passive victim of circumstances, you become an active participant in your own growth. This shift in perspective not only helps you stay calm in the face of adversity, but also instills a sense of purpose. But how do you develop this mindset in the heat of the moment? Start by reframing your thoughts. When you encounter a challenge, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this situation to grow? This simple shift transforms obstacles from sources of frustration into catalysts for personal development. Remember, life will throw its challenges at you. Some will be small, others monumental. But within each lies an opportunity to grow, to adapt, and to strengthen your inner calm. Embrace this truth, and you'll find that no challenge is wasted. Instead, each one becomes a stepping stone on your path to mastery and resilience. Lesson 4. Practice voluntary discomfort. In a world obsessed with comfort and convenience, it's easy to mistake ease for happiness. But the Stoics knew better. They understood that true inner calm and resilience come not from avoiding discomfort, but from embracing it intentionally. This practice, known as voluntary discomfort, is a training ground for the mind. It prepares you for life's inevitable hardships, ensuring that when adversity strikes, you won't be caught off guard. Why should anyone willingly step into discomfort? Because life doesn't ask for permission to be difficult. Challenges arise when you least expect them, whether it's the loss of a job, a sudden illness, or the breakdown of a relationship. If you've spent your life sheltered in comfort, these moments can shatter your peace. But if you've trained yourself through voluntary discomfort, you'll face them with calm and strength. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, practiced this deliberately. Despite his immense wealth, he would set aside time to live as though he had nothing. He wore rough, simple clothes, ate the bare minimum, and slept on the floor. His goal? To remind himself that even if he lost everything, he could endure. This practice didn't just prepare him for potential misfortune, it also freed him from the fear of losing his comforts. He wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, is this the condition that I feared?" This lesson is more relevant now than ever. In a society where every discomfort is met with instant solutions, food delivery, climate-controlled homes, endless entertainment, we've grown soft. Our tolerance for hardship has diminished, and with it, our resilience. The smallest inconveniences can leave us stressed, frustrated, and anxious. Voluntary discomfort is the antidote to this fragility. What does voluntary discomfort look like in modern life? It could mean fasting for a day, skipping that morning coffee, or taking a cold shower. It could mean walking instead of driving, leaving your phone behind for a few hours, or sleeping without the usual luxuries. These aren't grand gestures, they're small, deliberate choices to step outside your comfort zone. But the practice isn't purely physical. It's mental and emotional too. Have you ever avoided a difficult conversation because it felt uncomfortable? Practicing voluntary discomfort means leaning into those moments. It means embracing situations that challenge your patience, your ego, or your fears. It's about learning to sit with discomfort rather than running from it. The beauty of this practice is that it builds a quiet confidence. When you willingly face discomfort, you realize it's not as frightening as it seems. Hunger passes, cold fades, awkwardness dissipates. You discover a resilience within yourself that no external hardship can break. And with that resilience comes a profound sense of calm. The next time you face an inconvenience, a delayed flight, a long line, or an unexpected bill, ask yourself, is this really beyond my capacity to endure? If you've trained your mind and body through voluntary discomfort, the answer will always be no. You'll stand firm, unshaken, knowing you've already faced worse and thrived. In the end, voluntary discomfort isn't about seeking misery. It's about cultivating strength. It's about proving to yourself time and again that you are more powerful than your circumstances. And with that power comes a calm that no storm can disrupt. Lesson 5. Detach from outcomes. In a world driven by results, the Stoics dared to focus on the process. They taught that while you can control your efforts, you cannot dictate the outcome. This is where so much anxiety and frustration arise, when we tie our happiness and peace to results that are ultimately beyond our control. Detachment outcomes isn't about apathy. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of expectation and finding calm in the things you can control. Picture this. You've prepared for a big job interview. You've practiced your responses, researched the company, and dressed the part. You walk in, give it your best shot, but then silence. Days go by without a call. Anxiety creeps in. You start replaying every moment, wondering if you said the wrong thing or missed some vital detail. This spiral of self-doubt stems from attaching your peace of mind to the outcome. But the Stoic approach is different. They remind you that your responsibility ends with your effort. You control your preparation, your conduct during the interview, and your follow-up. The decision, however, is out of your hands, and that's okay. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Detaching from outcomes doesn't mean you shouldn't care about success. On the contrary, it allows you to pursue your goals with even greater focus and clarity. When your mind isn't weighed down by the fear of failure or the obsession with success, you can channel all your energy into the present task. You become more effective, more resilient, and ultimately more at peace. This principle extends beyond professional life. Think about relationships. You can't control how others feel about you, no matter how much effort you put into the connection. If you base your happiness on receiving love, validation, or approval, you give away your peace to forces outside yourself. The Stoic path is to give your best, to love fully, act with integrity, and communicate honestly, while accepting that the other person's response is not within your control. The same applies to creative pursuits. An artist pours their soul into a piece of work, but once it's released to the world, its reception is out of their hands. Some may praise it, others may criticize it. The Stoic artist finds calm by focusing on the joy of creation itself, not on the approval or disapproval of others. But how do you practice this in daily life? Start by setting your intention. Before any task, remind yourself, I will give this my best effort, and I will be content with whatever comes. This mindset shifts your focus from what you hope to gain to the value of the work itself. After you've done your part, let go. Resist the urge to obsess over the result. This doesn't happen overnight. Detachment from outcomes is a discipline, a daily practice. But as you cultivate it, you'll notice a profound change. You'll find a calm that doesn't waver with success or failure. You'll approach life's uncertainties with steadiness and grace, knowing that while outcomes may be unpredictable, your effort and integrity are always within your control. Ultimately, detaching from outcomes is about reclaiming your inner peace. When you stop outsourcing your happiness to external results, you become unshakable. You live fully in the present, give your all to the moment, and walk away with a calm heart, regardless of what comes next. Lesson 6. Control your reactions. The world around us is a constant stream of events, some anticipated, others a complete surprise. People will offend us, situations will be frustrating, and life will throw curveballs when we least expect them. But the Stoic leader understands one powerful truth: it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This wisdom runs deeper than a simple cliché. It is the very foundation of emotional mastery and inner calm. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, put it plainly: it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you internalize this teaching, you realize that while external events may be beyond your control, your response is always yours to command. You cannot control the traffic jam, the rude comments from others, or the sudden changes in your plans. But you can control your internal response, your thoughts and your emotions. This is a critical distinction. Too many people allow themselves to be swept up in emotional currents, reacting impulsively to every insult, disappointment, or setback. Each time this happens, they lose a little more of their peace. But the Stoic leader, who has trained their mind to control their reactions, remains steadfast and unshaken. Think about a time when you were angry or frustrated. Perhaps you received criticism at work or a loved one said something hurtful. In that moment, it can feel like the event itself has triggered your emotional response. But this is where the Stoic perspective offers profound clarity. The event is not the cause of your anger. It's your perception of it. The event is neutral. It's your judgment of it as something unfair, unjust, or deserving of a certain reaction that causes the emotional upheaval. For instance, someone cuts you off in traffic. In that moment, your heart races, your mind floods with irritation, and your body tenses. Why? Because you've judged the action to be disrespectful, unjust, or frustrating. But in the Stoic view, this judgment is not automatic. You can, with practice, choose a different response. Instead of reacting with anger, you can choose to let it pass. You can remember that this is beyond your control and that holding on to anger only poisons your peace. By consciously choosing your reactions, you become empowered. You no longer allow external events to dictate your mood or emotional state. You reclaim the power to respond with clarity, reason, and intentionality, rather than impulsively or emotionally. And this is where true calm begins. Because when you master your reactions, you stop being at the mercy of the world around you. Let's expand this beyond just negative situations. Stoics didn't only focus on controlling their reactions to adversity, they applied this principle to joy and success as well. While it's natural to feel happiness when things go well, the Stoics warned against becoming overly attached to success or fleeting pleasure. If you place your happiness in external outcomes, then you become vulnerable to their fluctuations. Success comes and you rejoice. Failure comes and you despair. The Stoic way is to find peace regardless of the circumstances. The Stoic leader learns to moderate their joy as much as they moderate their anger. They appreciate the good moments without letting them carry them away. They recognize that everything, joy or sorrow, is temporary. By maintaining an even keel through both highs and lows, they cultivate a steady calm, a tranquility that cannot be disturbed by the inevitable fluctuations of life. How can you practice this in your own life? Start with mindfulness. When something unexpected happens, whether it's a delay, an inconvenience, or a difficult interaction, take a moment before reacting. Pause and breathe. Remind yourself that your response is within your control. Ask yourself, what can I choose here? How can I respond in a way that maintains my peace? This simple act of pausing, of observing your thoughts before acting on them, is the foundation of controlling your reactions. As you continue this practice, you'll find that your reactions become less intense and more measured. Rather than feeling overwhelmed by emotions, you'll feel more like an observer, calmly witnessing life unfold without becoming emotionally enmeshed in it. You will begin to see that no external event can disrupt your peace unless you allow it to. This principle also applies to long-term goals and aspirations. Often we set ourselves up for disappointment when we become attached to particular outcomes. But the Stoic knows that they can only control the effort they put into a task, not the result. So instead of stressing over the outcome of a project or the success of a goal, they focus on the process, the effort, the work, the discipline. They give their all, knowing that whatever happens, their peace will not depend on the result. The key takeaway from this lesson is empowerment. When you control your reactions, you take full ownership of your emotional state. You are no longer tossed around by the whims of fortune or the behavior of others. Instead, you stand firm, grounded in the belief that no matter what happens outside of you, you have the strength to maintain your inner calm. And that in itself is a powerful form of freedom. Lesson 7. Focus on what you can control. Life is filled with countless distractions and uncontrollable circumstances. The world is unpredictable, and it can often feel like we are tossed around by forces beyond our control. But the Stoic leader knows that true calm is found not in changing the external world, but in focusing on what you can control: your actions, your thoughts, and your responses. By anchoring yourself to what you can influence, you maintain a sense of clarity and stability in the midst of chaos. The Stoics emphasized this concept with great clarity. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is one of the most profound Stoic teachings. The reality is that there is so much outside of your control: what other people think of you, what happens in the world, and how life unfolds. These things are not yours to dictate, but your mind, your attitudes, and your actions. These are yours, and they are the only true sources of power you possess. This wisdom can be applied in every area of life. Take a moment to think about your current concerns. How many of them stem from things you can't control? The weather, the economy, the opinions of others, these things are all beyond your influence. But when you stop focusing on them and turn your attention to what you can control, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and frustration. Think about your goals and ambitions. It's easy to become fixated on outcomes, on whether you will succeed, what others will think of you, or how things will turn out. But the Stoic way is to detach from these outcomes. Focus instead on the effort you put in, the choices you make each day, and the integrity with which you pursue your goals. Your effort is within your control. The outcome, however, is not. This shift in perspective allows you to find peace in uncertainty. When you stop worrying about things outside your power, you realize that you can always move forward regardless of what happens. You control your work ethic, your attitude, your focus, and your responses. In this way, you become impervious to the stress that often comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. It's also important to remember that focusing on what you can control doesn't mean ignoring or avoiding the challenges in life. It means meeting them head-on, with the understanding that you can only control how you engage with them. If you lose your job, for example, you cannot control the decision that led to it. But you can control how you respond, whether you let it discourage you, or whether you rise to the challenge, reassess your goals, and take action toward new opportunities. In relationships, you can't control how others behave or how they feel about you, but you can control how you act toward them. You can choose to show kindness, integrity, and understanding. The way others respond is beyond your influence, but the way you treat them is always within your power. This concept can also help you navigate the ups and downs of life with much more equanimity. If you focus on what you can control, you won't be devastated by things you cannot change. You won't spend your energy fighting the current of life. Instead, you'll become like a skilled swimmer, moving through the waters with purpose and calm, knowing that you are making progress even when the conditions aren't ideal. The more you practice this lesson, the more you'll notice the profound shift in your state of mind. You'll stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as an active participant in shaping your own life. You'll feel a sense of empowerment and inner peace, because you know that no matter what happens around you, your response will always be guided by your own principles. How can you practice this today? Start by identifying areas of your life where you're focusing on things outside of your control. Acknowledge them, and then bring your attention back to what you can influence. What are your actions, your mindset, and your approach to challenges? As you focus more on what you can control, you'll find a calm that isn't dependent on external factors. Your life will feel steadier, more purposeful, and more under your command. And in this control, you'll discover true freedom. Lesson 8. Embrace discomfort. We often avoid discomfort in all its forms, whether physical, emotional, or mental. We seek comfort, convenience, and security because they feel safe. But the Stoic leader knows that discomfort is not something to be feared. It is something to be embraced. It is through discomfort that we grow stronger, more resilient, and more capable of facing life's challenges. The Stoic way is to willingly step into discomfort, to use it as a tool for personal transformation. The Stoics believed that in discomfort lies the opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminded himself to embrace challenges, saying, "What stands in the way becomes the way." This is a powerful reminder that obstacles are not roadblocks, they are opportunities for progress. In the discomfort of struggle, there is a lesson to be learned, a strength to be developed, and a deeper understanding of yourself to be uncovered. Consider the physical realm for a moment. Athletes, for example, push themselves to their limits during training. They willingly endure pain and fatigue because they understand that growth happens outside of comfort. The same principle applies to your own life. Whether it's pushing through a difficult workout, confronting your fears, or making a tough decision, discomfort is a necessary part of becoming stronger. It builds your tolerance for adversity and helps you develop the mental and physical resilience to face whatever comes your way. But discomfort doesn't only come in physical forms. Emotional discomfort is equally powerful and often even more difficult to face. Think of a difficult conversation you need to have, an apology you need to offer, or a confrontation you're avoiding. These situations bring up feelings of fear, vulnerability, and uncertainty. The natural instinct is to avoid them, but the Stoic leader knows that it is in these moments of discomfort that true growth occurs. Confronting uncomfortable emotions head-on builds emotional strength and maturity. In fact, the Stoics believed that living a comfortable life was one of the greatest threats to personal growth. Comfort breeds complacency. When everything is easy, when there is no challenge to face, we become stagnant. It is discomfort that shakes us awake, forces us to adapt, and compels us to evolve. It's the difficult moments, the ones that push us to the edge, that shape us into our best selves. Embracing discomfort is not about seeking out pain for the sake of it. It's about recognizing that discomfort is a natural and necessary part of life. Rather than shying away from it, you step into it with courage and purpose. You approach the challenge with the mindset that it will make you stronger, better, and more capable. The next time you feel discomfort rising, whether it's in your body, your emotions, or your mind, don't resist it. Embrace it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How will this discomfort shape me? By reframing discomfort as an opportunity for growth, you take away its power to unsettle you. And this practice extends beyond individual discomforts. Sometimes life will present you with unavoidable hardship. A loss, a setback, or a failure that you never saw coming. The Stoic approach is to meet these difficulties with the same mindset. What stands in the way becomes the way. You can't always control what life throws at you, but you can control how you respond. When faced with adversity, see it as a training ground. Treat it as the very thing that will build your character, strengthen your resolve, and fortify your sense of purpose. In embracing discomfort, you begin to see it for what it truly is, not an obstacle, but a tool for transformation. Each time you step into discomfort, you build the muscle of resilience. You become unshakable in the face of adversity, knowing that hardship is just another step in your journey toward becoming your strongest, most capable self. To practice this Stoic lesson, start by seeking out small discomforts. Take the cold shower. Have that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Push yourself to do something outside of your comfort zone. As you do, you'll begin to realize that discomfort is not your enemy. It is your ally, your path to growth and strength. Lesson 9. Practice gratitude. In the chaos of modern life, it's easy to become fixated on what we don't have or what we think we need. We chase after more success, more possessions, more validation, believing that these external things will bring us happiness. But the Stoic leader knows that the secret to inner calm lies not in what we acquire, but in what we appreciate. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to lasting peace and contentment. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, urged himself to stop being whipsawed by the opinions of others or your desires for the unattainable. Be grateful for what you already have. This Stoic wisdom teaches us that the pursuit of external things is endless. No matter how much you gain, there will always be something more to want. The true path to fulfillment lies in recognizing and appreciating the abundance already present in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from discontent to peace. Start by looking at the things you already possess. Not just material possessions, but your relationships, your health, your talents, and the simple joys of life. Are you grateful for the breath you take every morning? For the people who support you? For the quiet moments of reflection? The Stoic leader understands that life itself is a gift, and this awareness fosters a deep sense of gratitude that anchors them in the present. Gratitude is not merely a passive feeling, it's an active practice. It requires intention. It means pausing to reflect on the good things in your life, especially in the midst of challenges. When facing hardship, the Stoic mind doesn't focus solely on what's going wrong. It seeks out what is still going right. It's easy to fall into a mindset of complaining or bitterness when things don't go as planned. But when you intentionally practice gratitude, you reframe your perspective, and what once seemed like an obstacle becomes an opportunity. Think about the difficult moments in your life. Have you ever been faced with a setback that, in time, turned out to be a blessing in disguise? Maybe you lost a job that led you to a new career, or you faced a personal hardship that deepened your understanding of yourself. The Stoic leader doesn't wait for the difficult moments to feel grateful. They actively look for the lesson in each experience, knowing that even in adversity there is always something to be thankful for. Gratitude also nurtures humility. It reminds us that we are not entitled to anything in life. Everything we have is a gift that can be taken away at any moment. This awareness fosters a sense of appreciation for the present moment and encourages us to savor the simple pleasures of life. The Stoic practice of gratitude keeps us grounded, preventing us from becoming attached to fleeting pleasures or chasing after what we do not need. In your daily life, how can you cultivate gratitude? Start by taking a moment each day to reflect on what you're thankful for. It could be something as simple as a hot cup of coffee, the support of a friend, or the ability to walk freely. Write it down, say it aloud, or simply pause to appreciate it. The more you focus on what's going well, the more you train your mind to see life's blessings instead of its burdens. Gratitude also works as a buffer against negative emotions. When you're feeling stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, take a step back and remind yourself of what you already have. This mental shift can bring calm in moments of crisis and help you regain perspective. True peace comes not from more, but from realizing that you already have enough. Gratitude helps you make peace with the present moment, free from the relentless desire for more. The Stoic leader understands that they have everything they need right now to live a fulfilling life. By practicing gratitude, you unlock the door to enduring calm, knowing that your happiness doesn't depend on the future, but on your appreciation of the present. Lesson 10. Accept impermanence. One of the most profound truths that Stoicism teaches is the recognition that all things in life are temporary. People, possessions, success, and even hardship, everything is fleeting. Yet, so many of us resist this fundamental truth, holding on to things as if they will last forever. The Stoic leader, however, embraces impermanence. By acknowledging that everything is temporary, you free yourself from the fear of loss and the attachment to things that are out of your control. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself in Meditations that life is short and uncertain. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This reminder of our own mortality is not meant to depress or discourage us, but to liberate us. When we understand that everything is temporary, we gain the ability to appreciate the present moment more deeply, without the pressure of clinging to it. Impermanence is not just about the end of life. but about the transience of every moment. Emotions, circumstances, and challenges. Nothing remains the same forever. This knowledge should not make you fearful, but resilient. When you face pain or adversity, remember that this moment too shall pass. The hardships of life are temporary, and you have the strength to endure them. Likewise, when you experience joy or success, don't become attached to it, because it too is fleeting. Appreciate it for what it is while it lasts, but don't let it define your sense of worth. When you truly internalize the idea of impermanence, you begin to live more fully in the present. You stop wasting time worrying about the future or regretting the past. Instead, you focus on what is within your power in the here and now. Life becomes clearer and more meaningful because you know that it is finite and precious. You act with purpose, knowing that time is limited and each moment is an opportunity to live in accordance with your values. This understanding of impermanence also frees you from the fear of loss. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, the loss of success, or the loss of material possessions, the Stoic leader understands that everything is temporary and loss is a natural part of life. When you embrace impermanence, you no longer fear it. You can face the inevitable with calm and acceptance, knowing that loss is a part of the cycle of this cycle of existence. In relationships, impermanence teaches us to value the time we have with others, rather than clinging to them or fearing their departure. You understand that you cannot control how long people will stay in your life, but you can control how you treat them while they are here. You can express your love, appreciation, and gratitude while they are with you, without the need to hold on desperately. The concept of impermanence also helps you let go of attachment to material possessions. The things you own are temporary. Today's prized possession may be forgotten tomorrow. By understanding this, you stop placing your identity and your happiness in material things. Instead, you focus on cultivating internal virtues that will remain with you long after possessions fade away. So, how can you incorporate this Stoic lesson into your life today? Start by reflecting on the temporary nature of all things. Remind yourself that the good and the bad will pass, and neither defines who you are. Let go of attachment to outcomes, knowing that every experience is a part of life's fleeting journey. In doing so, you will discover peace in accepting that nothing lasts forever, and that is precisely what makes each moment so valuable. By accepting impermanence, you free yourself from fear, attachment, and regret. You learn to embrace each moment for what it is, an opportunity to live with purpose, appreciate what you have, and let go when it's time. The Stoic leader's calm comes not from trying to control what is beyond their grasp, but from accepting the natural flow of life with grace and wisdom. As we draw this journey through Stoic lessons to a close, remember that the pursuit of calm is not a distant ideal, but a practice you can cultivate every day. The path to tranquility is built on your ability to accept what you cannot control, to embrace discomfort as a source of growth, and to live with a deep sense of gratitude for the fleeting beauty of life. The Stoic leader does not wait for calm to find them, they create it with each thought, each action, and each response to the challenges of life. In every moment, you have the power to choose how you will meet the world. Will you react with agitation and fear, or will you respond with the calm strength of a Stoic? By adopting these Stoic principles, you will not only maintain your peace in the midst of chaos, but you will become a beacon of calm for those around you. True power comes from within, from your ability to remain unshaken by the external storms of life. As the Stoics remind us, the mind that is anxious about the future is miserable. So let us cultivate our minds with wisdom, serenity, and purpose. I encourage you to practice these lessons today, tomorrow, and every day. The calm you seek is already within you. It simply requires the courage to look inward and the wisdom to embrace life as it unfolds. Thank you for watching, and may your path be one of steady calm, unwavering resilience, and unshakable purpose.